This episode of The Tiger Pit is brought to you by Athlon Rub. Athlon Rub is the next generation in performance and recovery for all sports. It is a new approach on the traditional Thai oil formula, founded on the time-tested formula and enhanced through proven ingredients. Made in an FDA and ISO certified lab in the USA, certified and continually tested by Informed Choice to be free of banned substances, PEDs, and cross-contamination. You can go to athlonrub.com and take a look at all the products they have available, read testimonials from users, and see what everybody else is saying. And when you got some things in your cart, get an additional 10% off when you use the promo code TheTigerPit. That's athlonrub.com and promo code TheTigerPit for an additional 10% off all the cool stuff you're gonna buy. We are also brought to you by Knock My Legends. Knock My Legends celebrates the heroes, legends, and icons of Muay Thai and kickboxing. Their mission is to create art in the form of apparel that honors each fighter's contribution to the sport and the art we love. They also have a great selection of shirts, gear, and accessories that highlight the greats from the sport from the past up until today. You can go to knockmylegends.com, that's NAKMUAY legends.com, as well as Facebook and Instagram, and check out what they have. And when you're ready to buy something, you're at checkout, enter the promo code TheTigerPit for an additional 10% off your purchase. Again, that's knockmylegends.com, NAKMUAY legends.com, or Knock My Legends on Facebook and Instagram. This episode also brought to you by Diplomatico Rum. Diplomatico is distributed in over 80 countries around the world. It holds the Ron de Venezuela DOC and is recognized as one of the world's finest rums. They have 3 different ranges for your tastes: traditional, prestige, and the distillery collection. You can find them online at rondiplomatico.com. That's Ron, R-O-N, which means rum in Spanish. For those of you who don't speak Spanish, who listen to this program, you probably should speak Spanish. Listen to this program, you'll probably enjoy it. Anyways, it's rondiplomatico.com to learn more about who they are and find out some history behind one of the world's greatest rums. We are also brought to you by Unplugged Essentials. Hemp is at the core of their innovation. However, not all hemp is created equal. Instead of using either isolated CBD or cannabis oil, which are the most popular cannabis-derived products on the market right now, they have infused their soaks with a water-soluble, hemp-derived, phytocannabinoid-rich powder. This way, they make sure that all their products take advantage of the several hundred bioactive components present in hemp. They also make no compromise in quality to ensure each batch is lab-tested and 100% THC-free. You can find them on Instagram and Facebook, or go to unpluggedfloatessentials.com and get yours today. And you can use the promo code TheTigerPit at checkout for an additional 10% off your order. That's Unplugged Essentials on Instagram and Facebook, and unpluggedfloatessentials.com online, or just, regular online. And like I said, use the promo code TheTigerPit for 10% off your order. All right, and this is for our New York friends and listeners here. We are also brought to you by the Stepping Razor Barbershop at 952 Flushing Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. The Stepping Razor leans into the realm of the classic 1940s American barbershop. They specialize in American classic traditional haircuts and shaves, but are versatile and can do much, much more. You can check them out on Instagram at the Stepping Razor Barbershop, or go to thesteppingrazor.com to book your appointment and get yourself looking good and feeling good. And lastly, we are brought to you by the Dojo NYC at 1082 Cypress Avenue in Ridgewood. The Dojo NYC is a fully equipped martial arts training center specializing in Cobrinha Jiu-Jitsu, traditional Muay Thai, and MMA. Whether you want to go and just get a good workout or compete at a high level, it's a great place to train. You can also go to the dojonyc.com and check out their classes, instructors, programs, and even sign up for a free trial class, which hopefully after you do that, you'll sign up for more and keep going and get better at jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, whatever it is you're going for. That's the dojonyc.com online and the Dojo NYC on Instagram. Okay. Our next guest is an artist whose work has been featured in the traveling exhibition Will Boys Be Boys, curated by Shamim Momim of the Whitney Museum of American Art. His solo exhibition, All of Nothing, was at DCKT Contemporary here on the Lower East Side. He was a contestant on Season 1 of Bravo's Top Design and was also featured on HGTV's Flea Market Flip. He was then included in the Queens International 4 exhibition at the Queens Museum of Art. His large-scale installation, Fast Forward, included BMX ramps adjacent to a floor-to-ceiling collection of trophies and customized BMX bikes. He continued this theme in his installation, Look for the Dream That Keeps Coming Back. You can check him out online at humphreyindustries.com. Also, Humphrey Industries on Instagram and Facebook. He was in New York to deliver a project to Red Bull and was gracious enough to come by and do the show while he was here. So without further ado, please welcome to the Tiger Pit, Mr. Ryan Humphrey.
On the next episode of Adventures in Edibles.
It's a Bavarian and a Polish guy.
Okay, we'll start the podcast right here. It's 9 o'clock. It's dark enough. I'm putting on my ninja suit.
That's the part, right? You gotta get into your head.
Now you're struggling with your words.
Check the Yelp reviews. I'm sure they have like 4. It's amazing.
I was trying to get that out, and I had a hard time struggling in my head.
They just see something they don't recognize, and they check out immediately.
I had a point.
Coming to the stage.
I've heard this many times from different sources.
You didn't even know me when I was hanging out there.
That sounds like such a burnout thing to do.
Tiger Pit.
I feel like I'm on Joe Rogan.
Tell us about L Aliens.
Well, this one time in band camp.
Oh, speaking of camp, I saw recently, I was Googling you.
Uh-oh.
I was investigating Ryan
Good.
Humphrey. You were a counselor at Woodward.
Dude.
I was too old to go to that shit when that happened, but man, that would have been so cool as a kid to go to that shit. Or not. Was it not cool?
Oh, it was from like a kid from a small town in Ohio.
Yeah.
It was the coolest.
It is in Ohio? I thought it was in Pennsylvania.
No, it's in Pennsylvania.
Oh, it is, right?
But it was, like 5 hours for me, and for me to have access to all that early on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely a game changer. I think probably my attitude was too bad to be asked back like the next year, but
As a counselor?
As a counselor.
Yeah.
Like, I had this one kid, I'll never forget his name. I'm just going to say it on here. Adam.
I'm coming to get you.
Fucking Long Island, you motherfucker. He was just like, he was like all dick. Just like everything that came out of his mouth. And this fucker, he was wearing sweatpants one day, and I was like, Adam, he was doing something stupid, and he just like turned around, dropped his drawers, and like spread his cheeks. And I'm like, what do I do? Like this,
He called you bluff.
He's like, this kid's. He was like, I was like, dude, be careful, man. That's like, that's flirtation in prison. Like, what are you doing?
That'll get you not asked back.
So I was just like, and then like I threw a trash can at him, and
man.
I was like the dream camp counselor though. I was like, you guys want to clean? No. Okay, we're not cleaning. Fuck it.
I didn't realize they had BMX there too.
That was, that actually started with BMX before skateboarding.
Oh, really? Oh, shit.
One of the owner's daughters was interested in racing BMX.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, oh, we'll put in a track. And they put in a track. So I started there for racing.
Oh,
like
okay.
In 80, 84, 85.
Oh, wow. Oh, see, I didn't know it was around that early.
Oh, it's
because I didn't hear of it
back.
until I was like, I don't know. I feel like I was like a teenager or something. When did they start doing skateboarding there?
Skateboarding,
later,
I think,
right?
was the first summer was 89 when I was there.
Oh, really? Okay,
yeah.
so I even thought it was later than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, which would have been, would have been too old to go to that shit.
And
This was like a summer camp, like BMX.
Yeah, you never heard of it?
I don't think
it
so.
started
Woodward?
out as a gymnastics camp.
Really?
And, yeah.
Damn, show you how little I know about this fucking place.
Oh, it's huge. It's huge,
No
man.
more than me.
People like wealthy people from California would just be like, you know what? Here's my kid all
Oh,
summer.
God, that's crazy.
Bye.
Yeah, that's
And you're
wild.
like, you get this kid who's totally, by the end of the summer, he's like made out with every girl. Like, parents are just like, here's another $100 in his like account every week. He's just burning through it.
Sounds like an 80s movie.
It was an 80s movie.
Yeah.
It was an 80s movie. I was like, Friday, I wonder what Vision Streetwear stuff got lost.
Yeah.
Cool. Here's my outfit for next week. Cool. It was insane. But
I should send my kid to it.
yeah.
Not
should.
for the whole summer, but like a week or something.
Yeah. I mean, if they're into that stuff.
Yeah,
but,
he just started racing BMX this year.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
Just getting into it. It's a new thing.
It's cool.
It took him the whole season to work up the guts to do the gate drop in, whatever that's
gates
called.
are scary.
Yeah, it is kind of scary, I guess, right?
It is.
For a kid. He's 9 years old. But all summer, wouldn't do it. From spring to summer, wouldn't do it. Then my wife takes him 1 week when I'm here. And I told her, I was like, he's going to drop in on that shit today. And she was like, nah, he's too scared. I'm like, because it's you taking him, he's going to do it to show off. Look, Mom's watching. And I was right, man. She fucking called me that day. She's like, he did it. I was like, of course he did.
Yeah.
Me, I'm like, just do it. Don't be a whip.
You're like, okay, it's time to learn how to swim.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's how I learned. That's how I learned how to swim.
It's gonna suck. It's gonna hurt, but you're gonna get up and then you're gonna do it.
Exactly.
I'll grab you before you totally choke.
That's how I learned how to swim, man.
So, yeah, I grew up really looking up to Evel Knievel.
Yeah, but of course, man.
I mean,
I loved you.
That was the dude, man. Kids don't have heroes like that anymore.
I mean, they do in a weird way.
Do they?
Yeah. I mean, you know, there's a package now around it, but like, you know, all those like motocross dudes, you can't.
I guess, yeah.
I mean, they're not on street bikes.
Yeah,
and they're
jumping
not like,
school buses and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
With their wild turkey in their cane and all that crazy
Exactly.
stuff. But yeah, I mean, they're out there. I mean, we just have different ones now. I think like Keanu Reeves is like,
he's a badass.
that's somebody's like, yeah, you can kind of like look up to that dude. Like,
Yeah.
You know.
That's true. But you know what it is though? I guess what my point was, when we were kids, there was like, he was like a man. You know what I'm saying?
He was like a man.
He was like a man, dude.
Hairy
Kids don't
chested,
have like man
gold
heroes.
chain. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
They look at like it's like a 18-year-old or something, and to them that's like a man or whatever. But like we was like this wild ass guy. I was like, man, this guy's awesome.
Oh, imagine how busted Evel would have been if they had like social media back then.
Oh yeah, he wouldn't have survived.
He'd be like, I'm in another state with another woman. What's the big deal?
Yeah.
Forget it.
Thank God there was none of that shit back then.
Well, and nobody was. I mean, who was trying to jump the fucking Snake River Canyon before?
It's interesting though. You can correlate a lot of stuff that's going on now. Like Evel Knievel became this persona. Like there was like Robert Knievel, and then he's like, oh man, I got to put on the superhero outfit.
Right.
So then it's like you have a lot of, like Kanye West, you got to be like, okay, he's got his like Jawa outfit from Star Wars. Like he's got to put on his thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of.
Yeah, you got to get a little extra.
You got to get a little extra for sure.
And that's the ultimate showman right there.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't give a fuck what he
His outfit was pretty badass too.
Yeah.
It was like a weird like version of the American flag.
1970s. That was like 76. Some of that shit.
Yeah, right.
That was a bicentennial.
Yes.
And,
Spirit of 76.
yeah, America. And
Yeah, he was. The thing is, like, he would be like, okay, I'm going to make this jump. And then no matter what, he would do it. Like, oh, wrong gearing, wrong everything. Like, touch the finger, hold in the wind. Fuck it. I'm going jumping anyway. Like, he was just.
Man, his body was a mess, too.
he broke everything. Like
he got wrecked
10 times.
I met him here in New York.
Did you really?
I did.
Come on.
I made this video in grad school, like where I spliced together one of my bike wrecks with one of a bunch of his footage from Las Vegas, and someone at a magazine knew about this and knew he was coming for. It was an Icon magazine. It's like come and gone, like all the others, but they were like, "Oh, you're on the VIP list," and I was like, "Holy shit!" So
what year was this?
Oh, this is 98, 97.
Okay. Whoa, weird.
Like Matt Hoffman put out a Evel Knievel bike, and it was before that was even out. So that was around that time. But I met his manager. His manager walked up to me. He's like, "Where did you get that shirt?" And I was like, "Oh, I bought it from this store that in Ohio. I can't remember the name of it. They bought like closeouts and all this cool stuff, and they had an original Evel Knievel T-shirt from, I think it was Kings Island Jump there." And I was like, "Oh, I'll buy one." It's like a Ringer T-shirt. He's like, "Oh my God." He was freaking out. He's like, "Here's my card. Like, come to the bar across the street afterwards. Evel's going to go over there."
Nice.
So, like, I met him, and I was just like, I shook his hand. And like how people claim to be, like, empaths and stuff. And I was just like, yo, this dude's dark, man.
Really?
Like, I was like, yo.
Yeah,
this
you can
dude
tell he
is
had a
dark.
lot of.
I can't even
or experienced so much.
I
wild
can't
shit.
even say what was dark.
You
It
just
was
feel
just
something.
like, yeah. But his wife was like really young and cute. And you're like, damn, Evil, you did okay. Like, you know.
I mean, his name is Evel Knievel.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
pretty great.
But she had to be half his age, and she kind of looked at me like, "Hey, what's up?" And I was like, "Nah, whoa,
See you
whoa."
later.
Yeah, exactly. So
Whoa, that's crazy.
it was crazy, but like, you know, I'm like, I got to shake Evel Knievel's hand, like, so.
Meeting your heroes,
Yeah,
kind
that's
of, right?
pretty crazy.
Yeah, and
Meeting childhood heroes is a little weird too. Like,
yeah, I don't really get starstruck.
no,
you
me
know?
neither. But it's weird, just like meeting them. It's kind of like it feels weird to have that like degree of time separation where you're just kind of looking at them and you're just like,
Wait a
by
second.
10, like, you know, it's weird. It's when I met Jimmy Superfly Snooker, I felt like that. I was just kinda like, this is strange.
You had a fanboy moment. You were like, "Oh, I was like, will you sign my?"
no.
You were like, "Sign my underoos."
I did not fanboy, but I was just like, man, this is so strange. I just felt upside down. I was like,
I would have been like, "You're the Slim Jim guy," and you would be like, "No, that's." You know,
Just open reel.
just make Slim Jim jokes all night.
you know, he was drinking. My friend put on this wrestling production. He puts on all these wrestling productions in Massachusetts, and he booked him to do some kind of not seminar, exhibition match type of thing. And he wouldn't come out unless he drank a case of beer.
Wow, that's anxiety.
A whole case of beer by himself. I don't think it's anxiety. I think that's fucking pain. Like he's just like,
maybe,
I can't
yeah.
even
Like
like
the
can't even
jumping
do
off the rope?
it.
All
Not
those
really.
dudes
He did
were.
like a step jump off of it, like off like the second turnbuckle. He did like a weird like wall ride kind of thing off the turnbuckle. It wasn't like a jump.
Which is like his old guy version of his.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It probably hurts just as much.
I'm sure, man. But I
Yeah.
was just like, what the fuck? This
How
is
old
too
was he
strange.
these
This was 7, 8 years ago because Z was like a little kid. So if I had to guess, he was probably in his late 60s at the time.
The late '60s, you have to be fucking drunk to jump off a
Come
curb.
on, man. Yeah.
You know,
You throwing yourself around a ring?
Yeah, that's like super hop. That's not super fly. That's just like,
Yeah,
yo,
exactly. And it
that's
was a hop. It was really a hop. And I remember just being so sad. I was just kind of like, oh, man. So this is too weird.
But you know what? The thing what he traded off is he has had days bigger than any of us will
100%,
ever
yeah.
have.
100%.
And that's the trade-off.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, I'm 60 and I still got to make mortgage payments, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I'll do the hop. So
Yeah, man. It's crazy, right? I mean,
Yeah.
But, you know, you can't be glorious forever.
no,
You know, that's the real deal.
yeah,
yeah. If it's anything like the wrestler movie, there's not a lot going on there.
yeah, dude. That scene where that girl's like dress up as a fireman. And he wakes up in the boots, and he's just like, "Where the fuck am I?" And I was like, "Whoa!"
That was a good movie. I got to watch
was
that
a good
again.
movie.
That was a good movie.
Yeah. He looks crazy now, too. I mean, he was looking crazy
Yeah.
then, but make you work.
Okay.
He looks insane now.
Is this a moment where we put out a public service announcement to the kids, like, just don't do plastic surgery,
Or drugs.
ladies, men, just go with it, with grace. No plastic surgery.
Marissa Tomei looked fantastic.
I would date her now. I mean, Linda Carter,
Linda Carter.
75. Call me up. Who else?
She's still alive,
original
right?
one.
She's-
Oh, Winona Ryder. I'm like, I would be really good.
Oh, yeah,
for
she
her.
looks good. Yeah, Winona Ryder
With
looks
her-
good, for sure.
has
She's in
terrible
Stranger
shape.
Things. She looked great in Stranger Things. Her disheveled mom look.
I've never even seen it.
She has terrible posture, and it helps
She
with.
totally has
She's
terrible
just like,
posture.
"Aw."
She's so slouchy.
Yeah, but I'm like, it's okay.
She always looks like she has a cold and didn't sleep much the night before.
I'd cover for her when she shoplifts. I'd be like, it's okay, honey. Like, oh, here's $200. No,
I know you watched that show.
I did. I actually watched it all pretty much back to back. Like,
Yeah.
there was all this hype
Just
around it,
binged yeah.
and then I just got like both seasons, and I watched it all back to back, and I was
Yeah.
like, okay. So I was trying to remember what show was it. Like,
I loved it. It just reminded me so much of my childhood. It just reminded me of
Yeah.
being a kid riding bikes around with your pals. And
Oh, I went to Target when they released those Stranger Things mongooses. I just happened to walk in. I'm like, oh, I wonder if they have any. And each Target got 2 of them.
that's it?
Yeah.
Holy
Not even
shit.
all the Targets. And I was like, oh, look, there's one. I was like, hey, do you have any more of these? She's like, oh, we have one in the back. I'm like, oh, I'll take them both.
People were buying them and selling them for crazy money, like shortly after.
I doubled my money on one. And then, you know Andrew York?
Yes.
He has the other one. Because I called him. I was like, yo, what's the story with these? And he kind of gave me the rundown.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I was like, you want one? He's like, yeah.
Nice.
So I bought it and just sent it to him. So it's still here in Brooklyn.
I
but
still haven't been over to his shop all these years. He must be pissed at me. I gotta go over there.
You need to
Andrew, I'm coming over.
cut off that man bun.
Oh, he's got that? Oh, I
Yeah.
remember. Because I was cutting his hair for a while. For quite a while, actually.
Yeah, when he looked
then he was like,
respectable.
I'm gonna grow my hair out. And I was like, oh, another one bites the dust.
Yeah.
See you later.
He dressed up as Thor this year. You can see it on his Instagram. I was like, and I said, basically, I was like, yeah, but Thor didn't man bun. He's like, actually, he did. And I was like, yeah, that was his like cross-dressing cousin Thor, not real Thor. So
His shop's still over here, right?
yeah,
It's still over here.
yeah, I'll stop and see him while I'm in town. So.
Yeah, I gotta go check it out.
So let's talk about leaving New York.
Leaving New York. Yeah, what made you do that? I'll be honest, I didn't even know you did until I started seeing all your posts about your fucking neighbor.
Oh man, so
That's
there's
what-
so much to talk about now.
When I started seeing, that was like the last winter is when I started seeing all your fucking, him like snow blowing his lawn and shit. And you're talking shit from your window, fucking hating on this guy. And I was like, wait, he moved? I was like, this is not New York. I was like, that doesn't look like New York at all. Then I started seeing like these beach photos and shit. I'm like,
Everyone thought I went to Long Island.
yeah, that's what I thought at first too. And then I was like, that's not Long Island. And then I was like, so tell me, what happened?
I moved to my hometown, Ashtabula, Ohio.
But what
my mom-
sparked it though to leave New York? Because you were here for a long time.
Oh yeah, I was here since '96.
Yeah.
New York's that place where you get over or you survive. And I got tired of like surviving. I mean, I got over in some respects. Like I knew like the first 10 minutes, I was like, I got to get my hands on something. Like
Yeah.
I got to buy something.
Yeah.
And it took me like 6 years to do it, but I bought an apartment. And like, you know, 1 year I moved 4 times,
Yeah.
sublets,
Yeah,
you got
yeah.
a cat, you're burning through girlfriends, like the stress. Like I had a show that opened September 5th, 2001. I had 10 grand on my credit card. And that show opened and it was like, boom, awesome. 5 days of awesomeness. And then September 11th happened. And then it was just like,
Yeah, that's
and like, you know, the landlord's starting to look at me a little sideways, like, oh no, don't worry, you know. And I had just come back from Maine from a summer program there, Skowhegan. It's like you get to go once in your life as an artist. And yeah, so that really, like that, you know, that's something you kind of, like I've met people from New York from that time period and like automatic bond, like
Yeah.
out in the world, like it doesn't matter where.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh shit, yeah,
Yeah,
let
'cause
me
you
tell
know
you my
that time.
story.
Yeah.
So I basically like started calling up everybody I knew, and I got a job at the Andy Warhol Foundation. Like I had freelanced there a little bit, and thank God, man, because I was able to pay my credit card off. Like
Yep.
I got through that show. I didn't even, like, I lost so much money on the art world. I poured everything into it. I burned through relationships, friends, because, you know, like I start calling you like, oh, he's got a show coming up, man. I'm not answering. Like, you need
they
help.
knew you did so. Yeah.
So they're like, and that works for a while, but eventually, you know, people are just like, yo, I can't. Like, you're too ambitious. You got too big of ideas. Just like make some
It's
little
weird how
paintings.
that bugs a lot of people out, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like some people can't ride that wave. They're just like, nah.
Yeah.
I think. What do you think that is? You think it's just it makes other people kind of reflect on what they're not doing?
3 things I can tell an aspiring artist now. And they're all 3 things I had to learn. Firstly, be nice to everybody, which I have not been. Do what you love. If you don't love it, don't do it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I remember being invited to be in these like kooky group exhibitions in like the middle of nowhere in the Hudson somewhere. And you're just like, look, man, no.
It's lame.
It's a drain. It's not an
Yeah.
opportunity. And that's the thing is like, you know, like, oh, it's a great opportunity for exposure. I'm like, you know what exposure is to me? That's frostbite.
People die from
Yeah.
this.
People die from exposure. So
I
I'm like, you want to give me an opportunity? Say, hey, Ryan, I really love what you do. I can throw $500 towards something.
Yeah.
And then be like, all right, that's great. You know, like I can do a $500 something. Not like, hey, come do this thing and it'll cost you $1,200.
Yeah.
Awesome.
They're benefiting off of that, not really you.
So that has to change. And the third thing, especially now, good credit.
100%. I've always been a maniac about that, man.
Really?
Oh, dude, that's been my MO
We would have been able to
forever.
do half the shit if you weren't driving the ship.
Dude, I've been.
Seriously, dude.
Right.
I've always been a maniac about good credit, man.
So, like, that's power. I mean, you know, whoever, listen to Jay-Z, listen to, I don't know, Gary Vaynerchuk, whoever, listen. Like, we're in a point now where you don't have to take out $50,000 in debt to go to art school.
Yeah.
Like, figure out, first of all, you have to be ambitious, passionate about it. You have to be a voracious reader or at least absorber of things. Go see a lot of art, talk to people, think about it, practice the same way you do martial arts. Get up in the morning,
Yeah.
grunt that out. You have to, and move through ideas quickly.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Don't
Number
get too
4.
precious about anything.
Yeah, you like, I have projects, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna collect a bunch of this stuff, and then like 5 years later I have a box of shit that I never realized, and I'm like, you know what?
It was hoarding.
I should have just moved through the idea quickly and like done with it and like grown from it and learned from it and like failed more.
Failing more.
Yeah,
There is
more,
something
man.
about that, man.
That's a huge.
Failing is just, you learn so much by failing.
Yeah.
Well, isn't there a saying that real success is failing 1,000 times or something like that? Paraphrasing it, but it's something like that.
I read the Millionaire Mind, I don't know, a decade ago, and it's, you know, like most of those wealthy people had, like, you know, gone bankrupt a bunch of times, failed at several businesses.
Yeah.
And not in like a fake Donald Trump way. Like they tried, didn't work out, boom, do it again. So like, yeah, I mean, be careful, like, you know, be careful like what you take on. You know, we're in this time period where everyone's they're into experiences and not, you know, luxury goods and objects and stuff. They're just like, oh, I want to have an interesting life.
Yeah.
You know?
You mentioned the good credit thing. The
Yeah.
flip side of that, though, and I've heard this argument, a lot of people are just like, the way that most people with money are in debt. You know, it's all about just being in debt. It's not about like paying everything off. It's just living. I can't live like that. It gives me like anxiety to.
Well, that's an investment though.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you have to invest. Like, you know, my credit card last month was $9,000.
Yeah.
But that was
solid
all
time.
like $300-$400 on there was stuff I didn't need.
Yeah.
But like,
Everything else is shit you need.
yes, or
Keep the
stuff that's
machine
like
going.
I have to buy this, or I have to rent this truck, or I have to, you know, I'll get a job and I'll buy a tool with that job. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do these crazy tabletops. I'm gonna go get the best table saw.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna burn half of that profit on new gear, new
Yeah,
equipment.
you reinvest in yourself.
Reinvest, yeah. So, but what I was trying to say with that is, you know, be careful that $50,000 or $100,000 in art school loans. Like, go find that artist who you think is it, and go work for him for free.
That's right.
Just call him up and be like, hey, I'm going to give you 2 days a week. I'm going to move to wherever you are. You're in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I'm moving there. I'm going to go work at the Payless Shoe Mart.
And help you.
And Friday and Saturday is me helping you. I don't care if I have to sweep. Just be humble and like absorb everything that person has.
That's right.
So, and you know,
That's really good advice, man.
you know, art's very much like a trade. People,
Kids don't like to be apprentices anymore.
Exactly. Like, you know,
they don't.
we're going to have a shortage of people who can use their hands.
That can
like,
do shit. you know?
Yes.
It's true.
Yes. So,
Yeah, that's true.
you know, you guys are never going to be out of work.
That is true.
But it's like, you know, plumbing, you're always going to need that guy. You're going to
Always.
want water.
Electricians, all that stuff. I know.
Yeah.
Me and my wife talk about my especially my son. I'm always like, he doesn't need to go to like a regular college, man. You know,
It depends
a
on
trade.
what you're into, man. I mean, like for me,
I'm gonna push him towards a trade just
Yeah.
because there's always gonna be work.
How old's your son?
9.
So he might develop some crazy passion,
Oh, he will.
and whatever that is, just be like, follow it. Because, you know, he can be 35 years old and have failed at it. Mm-hmm. And then he can be like, all right, I'm going to go to electrical school. I'm going to learn how to put wires together.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, and that's, you can kind of like fuck up for a good long
a while.
time.
Yeah.
A good long time.
Yeah.
Like, how many of your friends
Well,
Like, how many of mine are like, yo, man, you're in your 40s. You got to put the parts together now.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly. It's true, right? 40s are like the new 20 and
Exactly.
shit. My parents were in their 40s. I was already I was like 20, 21 already. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 43 and my kid's young still, but I was not young when my dad was 43.
Well, that's the flip side. It's like when I was teaching, I'd be like, yo, okay, you want to be an artist? I'm like, who in the room has a minor? You know, like one or two people. I'm like, okay, good. The rest of you better figure some other gig out. But also, I'm like, you want to be successful?
Yeah.
Don't have kids. Don't even get married. And they're like, what? I want to have
it's
kids.
true.
I want to get married. I'm like,
obviously that's not the end all be all for everybody, but it could help a lot of people.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
If you want to do something that's not your traditional, go to work 40 hours, come home with my paycheck every week. If you want to do some weird off-style stuff, you can't have kids or be married, really.
I mean, you can, but
it's just it makes it harder.
I drove every girlfriend away. I made them all art widows. They're like, Ryan, really? You're going to carry that crazy thing home? Really? You're up at 7 a.m.? It's Sunday, dude. Why are you banging on things? Like, what?
Like,
you're going to go
done.
where right now and go get what? And do what? And like, what time are you coming home? And why are you bleeding? And like, it's like... Seriously, these are all like, I'm pulling snippets out of like criticism conversations I had with all of them, and it's just like, yeah, I was like, you wanted that exotic that artist, that creative type. I'm like, really what you wanted was an insurance man. You wanted some dude who's like
safe,
gonna come
someone's
home.
safe.
Yeah. He's going to like maybe make a mixed drink. He's going to read the paper, pet the dog, and he's going to spend his whole weekend with you. And I'm like,
you need a crazy artist woman.
No, I don't.
No. Some artist woman is out there right now doing a podcast saying the exact same thing you are.
And that's okay. Like, but I just know my limitations. There's, I have some amazing female artist friends, but I'm thinking back to grad school, and I was like, oh, hell no. I'm not, no, I'm not dating. No. Like, my girlfriend at that time had a PhD in psychology. Whoa. And, like, mostly numbers, and, like, that was stimulating to me. Like, that was a whole other perspective on the world.
Yeah.
And
something totally different.
Yeah. If I was dating some girl who's, like, really into collecting records and whatever art school people do, it was just not.
Whatever art school people do.
So,
what art school did you go to?
I went to Hunter.
Yeah. I went to FIT.
Oh, the secrets come out.
Yeah.
What did you study there?
Photography.
Oh.
Yeah. I wanted to go to SVA. I got accepted at SVA.
Never
but I
dated a
flex
photographer.
The money, but I wish I had gone to SVA instead. I think
Really?
I'd still be doing photography if I went to SVA. I hated FIT.
Really?
Yeah, because it was fashion photography, so it was a lot of commercial photography stuff, and it was it was like mid '90s, and it was that cusp of everything going digital. So everything I was learning was completely obsolete.
Yeah, in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like literally
Exactly.
that year. Seriously, that year. Like everybody there that was in the program was buying digital cameras and showing all the kids with money was showing them off at school,
Right.
but you couldn't use it really for your projects because it was film shit. But they were all shooting digitally outside of school. It was just a weird time.
And all those cameras are worthless now.
I know. Crazy, right?
My phone has better resolution than those cameras.
And that's how I feel about my whole studying there. Is that it's all useless. It was just like a crap time. Just like nothing happened,
So you should have gone to plumbing school.
I should have gone to plumbing school.
No, man. That's not true.
Yeah, that is probably true, though.
That's what happened with me with music. My whole landscape just went away.
Yeah, right.
Recording music.
Oh, yeah. I remember studios closing down left and right in New York.
Yeah.
And, I remember watching that documentary. Dave Grohl bought that crazy
the Sound City
thing,
Yeah.
and like I bought the record, and I was like, that's fucking amazing, wow. But like that's great if you have like millions of dollars like Dave Grohl, and you can go do this super eccentric shit. And that's actually kind of where the art world is now. It's like, awesome, you got a trust fund? Cool.
Yeah.
You know, get a big crazy loft. Like, you can focus on this, you know? Like,
Yeah,
for
that's
me,
not
I'm
real.
like, no, man, I grew up with nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I jumped off the boat like, hi, guys, I'm from Ohio. What's up? And they're like, ew, how gross.
You came
White
here
boy.
specifically to go to Hunter?
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh, wow,
I did.
okay.
So I went from undergrad and I applied to, actually interviewed at Yale. How crazy would that have been?
Yeah, you'd be a whole different person. I
I'd
think.
be like a dick. I'd be a bigger dick, I guess. But no, I'm very grateful I didn't get in. But yeah, I applied to Rutgers. I got in there. Columbia, I didn't. Hunter, I did. Pratt, I did.
Right.
I don't know if I applied to SVA. I don't remember.
What year did you were you
That
there?
was like 96.
Yeah, it was 95 when I was at
Yeah.
FIT rather.
So, but I was psyched. I'd already I'd lived in Pittsburgh for 3 years, and I was already like into graffiti. Like, I rode my bike everywhere.
It was a good time in New York at that time.
Yeah, man, like
Outside of school, like a lot of stuff to do, and it was just funner. It was less people, I felt like, too.
when Craigslist first came in, I had left the Andy Warhol Foundation. Like, I got laid off, and I was like, okay, you know what, man? I felt like I'm blowing it anyway. I better like invest 100% into the art thing right now. But I had like a flexible schedule suddenly. So I would check Craigslist and be like, hey, I'll come buy your bike right now for $35. Boom.
35 bucks?
Boom. There was this dude, Raphael, who I would run into at Union Square, and every time I'd be like, Raphael, how much for that bike? Oh, $20. I'm like, where you find this bike? Like, Hutch.
You're like, I'll take more.
GT.
Oh, shit.
Like, I bought like 3 or 4 bikes off this dude. Like, one time I was like, Raphael, I'm going in to see this movie. If you're still here, or if you come back like in an hour, I'll buy that bike off you. There he was.
Wow.
I'm like, cool. But yeah, the best one was the first Redline freestyle bike. It's RL20A Pro Styler.
Okay.
What's that crazy? Is it Domsey's that used to be that crazy
Yes, the
clothing store?
thrift store. Yes, Domsey's.
Dude, so they moved over to my
Over
old
by
loft.
Kent, on Kent.
Yeah, on Kent, but then they moved to Broadway,
Yes. Yeah.
right next to my building. I used to live in the loft building next door, and I'm walking home from work, and I about jump out of my fucking pants. Like, oh my, in the window is this Redline Pro Stylers from like 1984 or so.
Holy shit.
Sitting there on the floor, and I'm like, I know exactly what that bike is. I coveted that bike. It was way out of my price range. It was like $350 in the mid 80s, which might as well have been like $1,000.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, then
Yeah.
I go in, it's $10. I'm like, cool,
$10.
$10. And I'm like, like,
Yeah, you like trying not to show.
hell yeah, man.
You don't want to show too much excitement. You're just like, does it work?
yeah.
What's wrong with this? Why is it only 10?
I don't know. It's kind of dusty. You 750. You know, it's like, yeah. I was just like,
Holy shit.
so I had that experience like a lot of times. Like, all these old bike shops, I steadily picked them clean. You know, Enos. He's like a BMX dude. He
Yeah.
beat me to a stack of like really rare array of rims that I was just like, maybe I'll get them, maybe I won't. But I was like going around to all these bike shops, cleaning them out. All your GT parts.
What's his first name?
Enos.
That's his first name.
Yeah. Base Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. That was him, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he beat me to like some really nice parts, but I was going around to all these bike shops and be like, you know, you'd work on the owners and they get to trust you, and then they just be like, yeah, go down in the basement, like, you know, it smells like cat piss, don't get bit, you know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
just like, here's a box. Oh my, this
Go
stuff.
crazy. He did what we did with VP Records.
Oh, those.
Yeah, we were recently
yeah.
talking about the same kind of scenario, but that weird time period where people don't really know what they have,
Right.
and you just go in and you just kind of, they give you, because they trust you. They're like, fine, just go take a look at whatever, go look through the warehouse or whatever. It's just a clean house, man. It's like, I'm taking all this shit.
Holy fuck! This record's $4.
Yeah, you're like, what
Yeah.
the hell? Like
Yeah.
some of those records from that time are like, it's like $80 now, and I paid like $2 for a record, you know.
And they were like new old stock?
Yeah, new old stock, and I'm talking like massive boxes, like my
Like from a
almost all my
distributor.
record
Like a
collection.
yeah,
From a distributor.
we
Yeah.
were in a distributor's warehouse.
Yeah,
That's what happened with skateboards.
yeah.
Like I read stories where dudes were like,
Yeah.
whatever when everything changed, like
Yes, yeah.
80s to 90s.
Transitional periods, man. That's if you know your shit, that's when you take advantage.
Yeah, so I have 2 new in the plastic Tony Hawk Bonite boards.
Oh wow.
That I worked at a skate shop, and I called up Pal Peralta one day, and everything had gone to like popsicle sticks.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Hey, you guys have any old boards?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, we got tons of them, like $7 a piece."
Whoa.
And I was like, "Oh well, let me get a couple of Tony Hawks and a Caballero," and like we just put them up in the shop, and they sat there for fucking ever.
Wow. Some
And,
of
like-
those old original pressings, people like the real legit skateboard collectors, man. I'm not one. I enjoy collecting certain things here and there, but
Yeah.
I know people that got a shit ton and they just sell this shit online all the time. Yo, like I have one of my friends, this guy Mike. He's always trading skateboards online and stuff, selling them, not trading them, selling them. Mm-hmm. And every time I see him, which is like once every month and a half, because I cut his hair regularly, he's like, I sold this one, and I sold that one, and I sold this one, and I sold that one. He's selling for like $3,000-$4,000. I'm like, what the fuck?
Exactly.
Who the fuck is buying these things? Like, seriously, who is buying these things? Because I like them too, but I ain't fucking spending that kind of money on this shit. Like, for me to
So,
buy a
yeah,
skateboard deck for like $400
How does
is like
it even get up that
I have to like really justify that shit. Like, I'm like, I need that shit. It's gonna look great in the shop, you know, whatever.
Right.
And even then, I gotta like talk myself into spending that kind of money for a deck. People are spending thousands.
But like,
man.
what justifies that board's?
I don't know, man.
Roscop like farted.
I don't know. I still
can't.
can't.
Right.
I haven't figured it out. I still haven't figured it out. I don't know.
Skateboards are unique because they're a print, they're like an artwork.
Yeah, but all these
But they're-
reissues are fucking that up. I feel like, but
yes
not for
and
them. That's what he tells me. Not for them. For the people that really collect,
Yeah,
they want it's art. It's you want the real one.
yeah.
Like a reissue is a reissue. Like yeah,
Yeah.
for me, I can have the reissue on the wall and be like, that's just as good. I just want to see the reissue.
Yeah.
Because I don't give a fuck. I just want to see the graphic and remind me of that time. But people that really collect them,
They want the
I mean, I have some
provenance of
originals. Not all my shit is reissues, but I do have some reissues.
Right.
You know,
I have a Rob Roscott. Not you put that in my brain.
I have a
Not as
picture of
Coppice.
Rob Roscop's.
Oh really?
And like a bunch of the settings.
Did he ever skate? Like
I watched him.
I know, right? He's like in no video ever. Like
he's like in like one little clip, like running through a snake run, and
the
he
promo
had like
for
the
this,
most popular
it's
board
true.
graphic
Picture I
ever.
have.
the most, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I'll use a picture of the pro.
It's super iconic board
Yeah.
graphic.
He was the arm through the target.
Yeah.
And that weird like devil.
It just
Yeah.
kept coming. It kept coming. Like all his graphics, those were
Yeah.
all amazing.
Who
Yeah.
did that graphic?
Jim Phillips.
It was a Jim Phillips.
Yeah.
Yeah, Phillips did all that.
Yeah.
It looks. I wasn't sure if that was a Jim Phillips. It does look like it.
Yeah. So
His
I-
shit was the best.
But I grew up
Oh,
on the turf.
amazing.
I skated the turf. Like,
Oh,
that's where
okay.
they came through and like Rob Roscop got on his board.
And he
got
wrote it?
Yeah.
I just felt like he was that guy who's like, yeah, it was good, and I'm just collecting checks now, just keep
Yeah,
putting
yeah.
out new ones, and like, cause I don't know, like I just don't remember him ever being hungry, but
Santa Cruz.
so I was at a street sale. I got great street sale stories from New York. I go to the street sale, I get the first Nodus Coppice. I'm like, how much? $10.
Plain.
What?
It's white with
Oh,
the
with
real
the tiger,
with
with the
the panther,
Panther,
real
yeah.
janky graphics.
Yeah.
And I still have it. I rode it around Manhattan.
$10?
Yeah.
It was ridden or not ridden? It was.
It was ridden, but it's still in pristine
Lightly
shape.
ridden,
Like it's
yeah.
lightly ridden still, even after I rode it, because I didn't.
That was a wild shape to skate.
It's a weird
That
shape.
board because it was
I
like
think they're two concaves. If I might be mistaken. They made like a concave
Like it's like a weird wave.
for regular and goofy.
yeah,
I might
I
be
know what you're
wrong.
saying,
I
yeah.
might be wrong. But
Yeah, it's like this, and the other side.
yeah, like there's like a bend to it. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm mistaken.
I vaguely remember that. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And then another time, brand new, pristine, every piece of plastic you could put on it. This kid had this like Dayglow Josh Marlowe skull skates. And I was like, dude, how much? He's like, oh, $80. And I was like, oh man, I don't know. Like, and I didn't buy it. And now I'm like, you dumb dummy. Like that thing.
Yeah.
He didn't ride it. It was brand new.
Yeah.
It just, I had to pull half the plastic off of it to like make it presentable because it totally looks like a Volterra.
Yeah.
Like it had the
Volterra,
copers,
Barflex.
lappers. You know, you had like every piece of plastic on there.
Yeah.
You're like, man, there's like 50 pounds of plastic on this
Nose
thing.
guard.
Yeah, nose guard, tail
guard.
guard, everything. It was like ridiculous.
What a weird time in skateboarding.
Rails, all that shit.
What a
Yeah.
weird time. All that add-on shit. So strange.
Rails were kind of nice though for doing.
Rails could be okay for rail sliding and shit.
Because some curbs, like
I mean, it was a
like
rail
some
slide
parking
before it was a
blocks,
board slide. It was a
or
rail
did
slide.
you
Yeah.
fucking hop on that thing in that motherfucking
Yeah.
parking
Oh,
lot.
yeah.
Be like, nope. you
Sure.
ain't going
If it was
there.
slicked a little bit, you were fucking moving with rails,
The
man.
painted yellow ones. Shit.
Yeah.
You were going home with a bruised tailbone.
Yeah, exactly. You were getting fucked up.
Yep.
I remember.
All the good kids though, minimal boards. If you remember back, you're like, all those really good dudes didn't have all that stuff.
No, because it was weight too.
Yeah.
I remember seeing this kid in Pittsburgh. This kid could ollie, and I was like, dude, I think what was he at? He had some vision, like a later Gator, I think, that had more of a concave, like that transition period.
When they started
Yeah,
to deepen
to really cup everything.
8th
And
Street fucking.
he didn't skate with grip tape.
No grip
What?
tape?
No grip tape.
Oh, that's weird.
And I was like, dude, this kid could ollie up steps, like 6 steps, and land at the top. And he's like, I just got tired of buying new shoes. I learned how to do it without grip tape.
Oh, weird.
And I was like, what? And he was good, man. That dude was good. So,
Wow.
yeah, but that's like some real, like,
But I mean, if you really think about it, it's rubber sole. Mm-hmm. Like, as long as it wasn't slick out or wet or anything like that, you could do it.
as long as it wasn't dusty.
Yeah, I guess, right?
Or dusty.
Yeah, you had enough concave. But,
Yeah.
Yeah. But that
Yeah,
was like
crazy.
amazing to me. But I was like, man, that's actually kind of makes sense. Because, like,
Yeah.
man, you burn through a pair of Chuck Taylors in like an afternoon.
Oh, dude, rip up your sneakers. I remember a time where you knew who skated just by looking at their sneakers.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that shit?
Yep.
You knew. You could go
You
to
could
a
smell it
store
on
or
'em.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Think about that. You could go
Yeah.
to like a mall or something when you were a kid. You like walk around. You see a group of other kids. You'd be like, yeah, they skate. You could tell by their sneakers.
Yep.
And
So
you-
fucking weird.
And you were part of the same tribe. Too.
Same tribe, man.
You're like, oh, hey, what's up?
Yeah, instantly you like bro down a little bit with them. Now I remember being so. Now it's whatever. Everything's so homogenized now. But I remember when shit started to get homogenized, and I was so territorial of that. Where like you'd see people that didn't skate like wearing Vans and shit. I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you don't skateboard. Why you got skateboard sneakers on? I used to say that shit. I'd be like, why you wearing skateboard shit? You don't skate. Like, I was mad territorial.
Actually, if you see Vans now, they probably don't skate.
No, I know. Now it's like that's like Nikes.
Yeah. I would just say this. If I had to skateboard a mile now, I would cry. You remember how far?
Dude.
Oh, yeah.
Miles and miles.
Yeah.
I would skate 3-4 miles to the hangout session and skate back. Fuck.
So I'm on concrete floor all day long. I wear these Solomon trail running shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's good grip. I'm like an old man now. Like, at the end of the day,
least
I'm
they're
like,
not New
oh,
Balance."
my feet. Yeah, exactly. My feet kill. I'm like trying to skate in these, or even just skateboarding. I'm like I'll skate to the studio sometimes, and I'm like, oh god, I'm just glad it's not double the distance. Like, wow, that would suck.
Yeah.
Like, and that's
Yeah.
quarter mile.
What kind
Yeah,
of board
yeah.
are you skating to the?
I have several. I have one that's Eddie Van Halen painted, of
Nice.
course.
What kind of deck was it? There's like a naked deck?
I think it was a naked deck. I don't remember. I got a couple naked decks. I got a big fat one that I painted graphics as well. Big Kryptonics wheels, super wide trucks. So that's like the tank. Like, I don't worry about rocks. So here's what I was doing. Like, I'd end up in some town, and you got to have wheels. So I would park the car, and then I'd just go buy a skateboard. So like, I got a Zip Zinger with I don't remember the trucks, but I got the wheels that light up. And I was like, oh, this is my shit for Chicago. I'm riding around
Wheels that
like
light up.
wheels that light up. Yeah, like full on rollerblade wheels or something. I don't remember. And I remember the guys at the skate shop kind of clowning me a little bit. And I was like, I don't care.
Hell
I don't have any rules. You guys all have rules.
Yeah.
Don't break them. I can
Yeah.
do whatever I want. Give me the ones with lights.
Yep. Why not?
Yeah. So what else? I got a Sector 8 bamboo board that I like mostly just cruisers.
Like a longboard, yeah.
No, it's short. I don't ride
Oh,
longboards.
sure, yeah.
No, I don't have any issue. I don't have it. I actually do have one longboard. I got an old school Madrid.
I have a short longboard. It's not like a full longboard. It's like a shorter one. And I don't ride it often or regularly or anything. But when I do, I actually love it.
Yeah, you got a vape going?
No,
Yeah, you do.
I don't vape. But when I do ride it, I'm surfing. I'm not.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing all the shit that you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, it's the electric. It's the electric boards that I'm like, yeah, man.
I'm crouching down.
Even now, I'll see some dude with electric skateboard. I'm like, where's your vape pen, bro?
I hate that.
Yeah.
You see them here all the time, dude, in Brooklyn.
Wow.
Yeah,
Vaping.
I'm just like, dude, what the fuck? They look like they're gonna get fucked up at any minute, though.
They do.
I'm just like, yo, this guy's gonna get hit by a car. Mm-hmm. Like, it's crazy.
Did you see the video I made? I took one of those 70s Tonka trucks that's the Winnebago.
No, I didn't see that.
I took a Winnebago and I ripped it all apart and I turned it into a skateboard. So I got like super big trucks and I got those off-road wheels. They're about the same size as the Winnebago
those Tonka
tires.
Winnebago. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah,
and
they're
I was
so expensive, man.
Yeah, it was.
And
like
you fucked one up.
I did. I cut it right up. Like, and I got on eBay, and it was when Breaking Bad was big, and I was like kind of meditating on this Winnebago and like easy money, and I just got on eBay and I bought like one of these things for like $60.
Dude, that's cheap though.
But it was pristine,
Yeah.
and I'm like sawing it apart, putting holes in it, you know, filling
I've
it
seen
full
piece
of
of
plywood.
shit ones for like $60.
Yeah, so that, well, you know, that was then.
You were lucky. That's like that $10 bike in the window.
Exactly. Now it's over.
You find these deals.
Somebody's gonna find this later on. And be like, oh, it's destroyed that bastard! My childhood. He wiped his ass with Superman 1. You know. Like, so anyway, I made a video. I went out to that skate park in is it Long Island City, the one under the bridge? Whatever,
City.
Queens. But yeah, like I went there early in the morning and like tried to ride this thing, and I got to where I could drop in on it, but
Yeah?
I really couldn't do anything else.
But
like,
you put trucks on it?
yeah.
Oh, shit.
Trucks and those off-road skateboard wheels. So they're about the
crazy.
same size and look as those big Tonka
So it
wheels.
still looked the same.
It still
yeah.
looked like it, but it was now skateboard.
But you could skate it, yeah.
But man, I couldn't even like do a 360 on that thing. It was like it was like riding a cement block. It was like, but I could totally roll around, and I was like rolling over stuff and
Crazy.
Yeah.
Do you think
Like
it wasn't?
riding a Volterra.
Do you think it wasn't?
Those things were chunky as
Yeah, they
hell.
were chunky.
it was like a Volterra with like a footstool glued to the top. It was like that.
Do you think it was weird because of the tire circumference?
No concave, no tail.
No tail.
It was
yeah,
also, you know,
high,
12
too high.
inches away from the wheels. So
Yeah,
like pushing was just ridiculous. Like you're bending way down
yeah.
to like push.
The geometry was all weird.
It's on YouTube. It might be on Instagram. I don't know. And then the girl who edited the video and everything, she put it to like some obscure music that was associated with Breaking Bad, and it was just like kind of like a sketch she put out into the world. And I was like, man, I want to do more stuff like this.
Yeah, that's
this is
cool.
more fun. Like this is more. It's not about market or objects. It's just about like creating this thing.
Yeah, that's cool.
But
What are you here for this week?
I'm here for this. I'm meeting,
Oh, thanks, man.
yeah.
I hope you got
You're the
something
best.
else.
You're the best.
Yeah. I did a couple fencing masks for Red Bull I got to drop off, and I'm meeting with a design firm about a project I can't talk about.
Ooh,
But it's
Mysterioso.
some cool St. Mark's business that's might be scalable in the future.
Right.
And they said, hey, can you come down because we're out of our element here?
Think you're ready to go pro?
I'm pro. I already did it. It's not all cracked up to be. You know, a lot of pros are broke. It's the top 3 that make the big money, but everyone else is like, yo, man, yeah, just give me some energy bars and we're good. I'll put a patch on, you know, like whatever.
You got a job, man.
Yeah. Can I even just give me a plane ticket, man? That's it. That's all I need.
I'm playing to get back.
And this
Gotta get back to where I came from.
That's where I want Troy to be my manager. Yo, man.
Troy will get you paid.
Listen, man.
Yo, you saying, you know what I mean,
you know what I'm
man.
saying.
Yo, man, come on, come on. Yeah. So that King of New York, you know the King of New York contest? It's a BMX contest.
I don't think I know it.
So the one year we put it together, I was like, yo, let's make a cop car that everyone can fucking ride on. So
Nice.
I found this Crown Victoria on Craigslist. This kid on the Lower East Side had it. He was willing, like we paid for it, but it was still in his name. And he drove it to the contest.
Oh, nice.
But like I painted the thing up to look like a New York City police car, except it said KONY instead of NYPD. And we built ramps, and Troy was the dude that made it happen. Because I'm like, Troy, we need like a grant. Like he's like, yo man, I'm on it. He called up everyone he knew. I'm surprised you weren't on there.
I may
but
have
like he
been.
called everyone who's like, yo man, $100, man.
I think I might have been on it.
We'll put your logo on there.
I did weird shit like that with him back in the day.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
So, like this big BMX blog, I don't know how he got $100 out of them. OSS on some shit. Like there was an optician that his girlfriend worked at.
Oh yeah, Sarah.
Anthony Aiden. He's like, yeah, man, I'll do it $100. I'm like, this has nothing
That's
to do
funny.
with this, but he's kind of close. Okay, whatever.
Let's find a flyer for that. I bet you I'm on.
Oh, there's photographs of like
man.
dudes, but we used a parking block for the light bar, so dudes were like sliding on that and jumping across that.
Nice.
And I welded up a bar like on the push bar on the front of it. I went to a taxi place and I was like, yo, you got any of those old push bars? He's like, yeah, we got one. I'll sell it to you. You know, whatever. So like whatever, bolted it on, and then we welded a bar on, so dudes were doing grinds on that, and then we just put ramps all over it, and this thing got destroyed. And we didn't get permits, we didn't drain oil, get nothing. Like it was just like pull up, park it, lock it up. Like some dude was in there smoking weed during the contest, and like all this smoke was coming out. Like,
old school, man.
Old school. And the kid was like, yeah, man, you know, like I'll take it back at the end of the contest. I'm like, dude, there won't be anything to drive. Like,
yeah, it's gonna be wrecked.
Yeah, those cars got.
They smashed all the glass,
Yeah.
everything, and this was like in a city park,
Yeah.
and it just kind of flew under the radar. But Troy made that one happen. Like,
Hilarious.
it is. Because he'll set something
I'm
up.
not surprised, but hilarious.
Yeah, he'll set something up and like sleep in that day.
Yeah.
Like, Troy, you got to go rent the truck.
Yeah.
You were supposed to be here at 7. The thing
Well,
starts at 9
He's
a.m.
always kind of had his finger on the pulse. So when he says like you know, says something, you're gonna listen and be like, what? What's happening? You know, especially if it's a party oriented.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, he can definitely pull the troops in for like a party.
Yeah.
He's definitely the party lord. He's the party lord.
He is
We used
the
to
party
call him
lord.
the party lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was our
Ruggiero.
nickname for him for a
The
long time.
party
Yes,
lord.
Ruggiero. That's when he would get into like super party style. He'd be like, oh, I know who's here right now. It's Ruggiero. He wasn't Troy. He went through a phase where he'd wear white patent leather shoes for a
Yeah.
while. We were like, what?
Shorts and button downs and shit. Like, yeah, man. Like, just like cabana guy.
Totally.
I remember
Like,
him.
him run into him at
That's when he
Central
had
Park.
the
Yeah.
mustache, like the
Yeah.
skinny handlebar mustache.
I remember him like,
Hilarious.
yeah, man, these dudes don't even know, man. I'm going to this wedding. I got a white linen suit.
Yeah.
It's hot out, man. They don't even know. They're
They don't
wearing
even
these
know.
black suits. And I'm like,
Pride in
yeah.
the fact that he understands the type of fabric you're supposed to wear in the summer.
Right. And I was
Do a
just like,
wedding.
He wants you to know that he knows that much.
yeah.
Oh,
I heard
man.
he could skate. I
Yeah, he
never
can skate.
saw him
No,
skate.
he can. Yeah, he can.
I heard,
He can.
like,
honestly, I've known Troy for a long time, and I will go on the record where he's a better skateboarder than a BMXer. And I used to say this to him when he had the shop,
Yeah.
when he had the BMX shop, and he used to get so pissed at me. He'd be like, "Yo, don't say that shit out loud." I'd be like, "Dude, you're a better skateboarder than you are a BMXer."
like he would do a few tricks on a bike, I remember, but like I heard story like
No, he's a good skater.
He picked up a skateboard and got on that ramp and killed it. And I
Yeah.
was like, what?
Yeah.
Troy?
I lived right down the street, like a block down the street from here, in the early 2000s, and I had a half pipe in there. Like pretty decent, you know, like 4 foot tall, like 16 foot wide, 4
Oh,
foot extension.
that's amazing.
Like a good
Yeah.
indoor mini. And he killed it on it.
Really?
Yeah. He was good. You know, funny enough, the only reason why I know like all these BMX guys in Brooklyn and stuff, and I became friends with like, you know, like Worms and like
Oh, yeah.
Anson and like Tyrone and Edwin and stuff, is because when I had that half pipe, I let them ride the ramp.
Really?
Like I was totally cool with it. Like it was like, you remember we used to throw parties weekly. It was like at least 2-3 days a week where it was like party time at Danny's house, and it was open session from like.
This was your house?
Yeah, this is my house, man. I had a full bar, like a long, like it was like a real bar.
This was a normal
Wait a
like,
second.
Thursday night, dude.
There's a real bar inside this. It was like
this an apartment?
No, it was like a commercial, like a loft, like garage.
Looked like it used to be like an oil change drive-in place.
Yeah, but it was
But
transformed
then they
into like a Puerto Rican like underground social club.
Yes.
So it had a bar in there. Then I rented it and I built a bedroom. My bathroom had a urinal and a toilet.
Right on.
I put a shower
As it
in
should
there.
be.
And I had a big living room with a Scarface fucking crazy like New York City skyline, big mural on the wall with mirror around it. It was insane looking. Totally Puerto Rican social club. And when I built this, we had our band set up too with the whole recording setup, so we could play. We would jam live band shit, and people would be riding the ramp, sessioning. It was insane.
Yeah, we'd just be rehearsing.
And then you'd be like, it's now a show. Okay.
So, yeah, they get to skate during a show, ride bikes during a show. But I was always cool with letting all those guys ride the ramp. I was like, yo, we should be doing this shit together, man. Like, fuck that. We're friends. I have fun. I don't give a fuck. And they'd be like, oh, that guy Zion's crazy, man. He just lives riding our bikes and shit. Like, that's dope. And I'd be like, just have fun, man. Like, I wasn't gonna be elitist. Be like, skateboards only. Like, what? That was ridiculous. You know what I mean?
You had your own limelight out here.
Pretty much like the tunnel.
The tunnel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
And that's the reason I moved to New York, and it's the reason I moved away, because I'm like, where's that now?
Yeah,
like,
nowhere.
You just can't.
It's not here anymore. New York I'm guilty of saying that, and I just sound like the jaded old guy all the time. I always say,
kids.
New York's done. It's done.
Goddamn son of a bitches.
I always sound like that, man.
I want to say thanks again to Ryan for coming through and joining us on this episode. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram and Facebook, and now on YouTube. Take it easy, everybody.